Welcome back to Car Vibes. Today, we're taking a nostalgic journey into the past to check out a rare and often forgotten classic, the 1969 Toyota Pony. This vehicle may not be as widely recognized as other vintage Toyotas like the Corolla or the Crown, but it holds a unique charm and an interesting story that makes it a gem for any automotive enthusiast. So buckle up as we dive into the details of this vintage compact car, examining everything from its interior and exterior design, to how it performs on the road, and what it's worth today if you're lucky enough to find one. The Toyota Pony was primarily designed as an economical and compact solution for emerging markets, particularly in Asia. While it's often confused with other subcompact models Toyota produced around the same time, the Pony stands out for its simplicity, affordability, and functional design language. In 1969, Toyota was in the midst of a global expansion, and the Pony was part of their attempt to meet the demand for low-cost vehicles. It was designed with a form follows function philosophy, and that's apparent the moment you lay eyes on it. From the outside, the Toyota Pony 1969 has a minimalistic and utilitarian design. It's a small car with tight proportions, measuring just around 3.6 meters in length. The front fascia is defined by a very straightforward grille with thin horizontal slats, flanked by round sealed beam headlights. There's no unnecessary chrome or excessive ornamentation. Everything is clean, functional, and modest. The front bumper is a slim metal strip that adds a subtle touch of durability, and the hood has a slight curve that reflects the simplistic aerodynamics of its time. The side profile is equally understated, with small steel wheels, thin tires, and unadorned body lines. What really gives the Pony its charm is this no-nonsense approach. It's not trying to impress, it's trying to get the job done, and that's what makes it so endearing. At the rear, you'll find basic rectangular tail lights and a trunk that's compact but surprisingly practical for such a small car. There's no spoiler or styling gimmickry, just a smooth, squared-off rear end. The paint options were typically conservative, ranging from off-whites and beiges to soft blues and greens. Most of the Ponies from this era that survive today still carry that original pastel tone, adding to their vintage aesthetic. Now stepping inside the 1969 Toyota Pony, the first thing you'll notice is how utilitarian everything feels. The interior was clearly designed with economy in mind. You won't find leather, faux wood, or high-end plastics here. Instead, you get basic vinyl seats, a metal dashboard, and extremely simple instrumentation. But that simplicity doesn't mean it's uncomfortable. The seats, while firm, are decently padded and provide adequate support for city driving. Legroom is limited, especially in the back, but for a car of this size and purpose, it's actually not too cramped. The dashboard layout is classic late 60s minimalism. There's a basic speedometer, fuel gauge, and a few warning lights. No tachometer, no fancy dials. The steering wheel is a two-spoke design, thin, hard, and without any sort of power assistance. The climate control system consists of sliding levers for heat and ventilation, and that's it. There's no air conditioning, no digital displays, no power windows, everything is manual. Even the window cranks are made of thin metal, with small plastic knobs that feel fragile by modern standards. But that's what makes the Pony such an honest car. It's refreshingly straightforward. You feel connected to every mechanical part of the vehicle, and that's something modern cars can't always replicate. Storage space inside is minimal but functional. There's a glove box, small door pockets, and a center tray for your odds and ends. The trunk, while compact, offers enough room for a couple of suitcases or some groceries. It's clear that Toyota intended the Pony to be a basic transportation tool, and it fulfills that role admirably. Now let's talk performance. Under the hood of the 1969 Toyota Pony, you'll typically find a small 800cc to 1000cc inline-4 engine, depending on the market. It produced somewhere between 40 to 55 horsepower, which by today's standards is laughably low, but back then it was enough to get you around town efficiently. The engine is mated to a 4-speed manual transmission, sending power to the rear wheels. Acceleration is slow, taking more than 20 seconds to hit 60 miles per hour, but this car wasn't about speed. It was about reliability and economy. The Pony delivered excellent fuel efficiency, often getting upwards of 35 to 40 miles per gallon, which was exceptional for the time. Driving the Pony today is a unique experience. The engine is noisy, the ride is stiff, and there's a lot of vibration. But there's also a raw, mechanical joy to it. You feel every gear shift, every bump in the road, every bit of feedback from the unassisted steering. It's a throwback to a time when cars were much simpler machines, and the tactile driving feel is something enthusiasts genuinely appreciate. It's also worth noting that despite its small size and modest power, the Pony is remarkably nimble. It turns on a dime, and parking it is effortless, even in tight urban spaces. Braking is handled by drum brakes all around, so stopping distances are much longer compared to modern standards. Safety features are virtually non-existent. No airbags, no crumple zones, not even seat belts in some models. That's a reminder of just how far automotive technology has come. But back in its day, the Pony was considered a reliable and practical daily driver. As for pricing, this is where things get interesting. Back in 1969, the Toyota Pony was one of the most affordable cars in the lineup, often costing less than $1,500 USD, depending on the configuration and country. That low price point helped make it accessible to a wide range of buyers in developing markets. Today, the Pony is extremely rare, and finding one in decent condition is a challenge. Most of them have rusted away or been scrapped, but a few still survive in private collections or vintage car clubs. If you're looking to buy one today, expect to pay anywhere between $6,000 to $12,000 USD for a restored example, with prices increasing depending on originality, mileage, and restoration quality. If you're lucky enough to find a barn find or a non-running project car, you might be able to get it for a few $1,000s, but be prepared to spend time and money on sourcing parts and restoration. The good news is that the mechanical components are relatively simple and, in some cases, shared with other vintage Toyotas, which makes maintenance more feasible than you might think. In summary, the 1969 Toyota Pony isn't about flash or performance, it's about character. It represents an era when cars were built with a focus on functionality, reliability, and simplicity. It might not win any drag races or turn heads like a muscle car, but it tells a story, one of Toyota's early efforts to democratize mobility across the globe. For collectors and enthusiasts who appreciate the roots of automotive design, the Pony offers something uniquely satisfying. It's a humble little car with a big personality, and for that, it earns a rightful place in the history books. Thanks for tuning in to Car Vibes. If you enjoyed this deep dive into a forgotten classic, hit that like button, subscribe for more vintage car reviews, and let me know in the comments what underrated cars you'd like us to cover next. Until next time, keep your engines running and your vibes high.